Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you for part 2 of the spoiler talk for Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. So I'm going to continue where I left off, and yeah, let's get into this review. Now, like I said, for those of you who haven't seen this movie, don't watch this review or the first part of this review, because I will be telling everything that's going on. So let's continue where I left off. Now, after Rey opens up that hole that there's in that sinkhole place or whatever they're in, they get out of it, they go find the ship, and they find a ship. They take it. Well, they don't take it yet. There's a few more scenes that happen before that. Chewie gets taken when he goes to find Rey, because Rey's out in the middle of the desert waiting for Kylo Ren, because she senses Kylo Ren's presence on the planet. And yeah, he brought a few friends with him too. The Knights of Ren are with him as well, and the Knights of Ren capture Chewie, and they take him on a vessel that leads them up to the First Order ship, or they're called the Final Order ship. And then pretty much Rey is focused on using her power to destroy Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren's on that flying speed little ship or whatever it's called. Can't think of it. It's like some kind of aircraft thing he's flying on, or he's piloting, and he's flying towards Rey, and then Rey's just like, and then takes out her lightsaber and opens it up, and then she turns around, and then she looks back, and then she starts running, and then she does a backflip onto the slicing one side of the aircraft that Kylo Ren's on, and it starts swirling around, and then goes boom into the sand or whatever. Then she sees that Chewie gets taken, or sees them flying away, or it's Poe and Finn that said Chewie. They said they got Chewie, and she pretty much uses the Force to try to bring down this vessel. And then Kylo Ren's doing the same thing. They're both fighting to. He's trying to push the vessel up, and she's trying to pull it down. The ship, the aircraft ship that Chewie's on. And then she accidentally uses her lightning thing or whatever out of anger to take it down. She didn't know what she was doing, and she accidentally blows up that vessel, and she thinks that Chewie's on it. She's like, Chewie! And then they're saying, Rey, we gotta go. Finn's saying that. And then they go on to the space, their little ship, and they fly away. And then it goes into another place that they go to, where pretty much they're at this planet where they gotta go to, and just to hack into C-3PO's memory, or whatever, C-3PO's memory system or whatever, so they can find out what the dagger says on the Sith dagger. And then they pretty much go to that place. There's full stormtroopers, and they pretty much are looking for fugitives or whatever. The Rey and Poe and Finn and C-3PO and BB-8 are with them as well. And then someone rescues them, or kind of rescues them. They are very close to killing Poe, this person or chick that's in a mask or whatever, that's talking to Poe and has a gun pointed at his head. She has a gun pointed at his head, and then then Rey starts attacking uh, her men in anger or whatever. And yeah, it just. The way that Rey's acting, there's a lot of conflict in her where you think she's going to turn to the dark side. And it almost looks like she will. But I'm going to tell you that later in the movie when I talk more about the spoiler review. So let's finish up where I was leaving off at. Um, yeah, well, they hack into C3PO's memory thing, and then he says something like, I'm taking one last look at my friends. And then they hack into his memory core or whatever and shut him down, the actual C3PO. And then he comes back up and you see his red eyes and he talks about what the blade is and where they gotta go to find this Sith triangle cube or whatever that Kylo Ren has. Then they go rescue Chewie afterwards, and pretty much, yeah, they rescue Chewie. Then Rey goes off on her own and tries to look for Kylo Ren. And then, pretty much, sorry if I'm saying pretty much, it's kind of frustrating watching this spoiler review when I say pretty much. Because it almost sounds like I'm ending a sentence, but I'm talking more about it. Yeah, Rey goes off to find Kylo Ren, and Kylo Ren's not there on the ship, and he senses her with the Force, and he notices that she's somewhere else, and he doesn't pinpoint her location until like later after they stop talking, and he's like, oh, she's in my headquarters. This is what he said. And I'm like, oh wow, he found them that quickly. After doing their lightsaber fight, that's how he found out. Because they destroyed Darth Vader's mask and him in it. His head in it, mostly. And then he goes back up to his ship where Rey is and all that, and Poe and Finn get in the ship after they rescue Chewie, and they almost get kidnapped or captured or whatever by the Empire, and then I think it was C3PO or whoever's that saved the day or whatever, and they pretty much got out of the handcuffs and started fighting against the Empire troops. And then they tell Rey we gotta go and all that, mostly a little after Kylo Ren talks to Rey and says your parents were nobody. They were, and your last name is Palpatine. And she's just like, no. She's just like, I don't want to be related to the Emperor. That's kind of her reaction. She's like, I'm related to that son of a bitch. But, yeah. Then she finds out that they got killed on the Emperor's orders. And because he was trying to capture Rey when she was a baby. And then or when she was a little kid, or infant, or whatever. Not a baby, an infant. I was saying it wrong. Then, after Kylo Ren tells her the truth of who she is, and he's like, join me. And she's still resisting, because she wants to believe that she can do good. And then she jumps onto the ship with her force powers, and they leave on the Millennium Falcon. And then they go to this other planet where they're finding out where that they find this Death Star that's there, the broken piece of the Death Star, and pretty much Rey goes off on her own again, trying to find out who she is and what she has to do. And pretty much that's where it all ties together with her conflicted ways of thinking that you think she's gonna go to the dark side. But you'll be surprised when you see the ending, and I'll talk about the ending in the next video or whatever. Yeah, Rey just pretty much fights Kylo Ren again on that broken Death Star ship, and Poe and Finn go after her, or Finn goes after her, and says Rey, and then she pushes Rey back or whatever. Not Rey back, she pushes Finn back. I was saying it wrong, I'm sorry. Then they pretty much, Rey and Kylo Ren are fighting, and then Carrie Fisher hops in and tries to convince Ben, or known as Kylo Ren. Dark side of him is Kylo Ren, good side of him is Ben Solo. And pretty much Carrie Fisher, or Leia in the movie, is using all her force powers to turn Ben to the good side again and convince him to turn good again, come to the lighter side of the force. And then you see Harrison Ford after Rey heals Kylo Ren or Ben or whatever, and just when she stabs him in anger with her lightsaber, or his lightsaber, and then she heals him with the Force or whatever, and that's where it gets weird. I'm like, how can she do that? It's very weird right there. That part didn't get explained. There's a few scenes in this movie that didn't get explained very well on how she did what and whatever. I forgot to mention that there was a darker side of Rey. She had a vision on the ship before she fought Kylo Ren that she pretty much saw her darker side, and she says, you can't deny who you are, this is what you'll become or whatever. And she's just resisting and saying no, and her darker side's fighting her lighter side, which is the actual Rey, the lighter side. And then she's just like, and she does that with her teeth and does the noise, and she falls back out of the place she was at. And yeah, I'm gonna have to come back at you for the third part of this spoiler review, but comment below, let me know what you guys thought of the second part of the spoiler review for Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. And if you like this spoiler review, part 2, comment below and let me know your thoughts on it. Tap a like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you can to support the channel. I will return to you for part 3, which should hopefully finish what I've been talking about in the spoiler reviews videos that I started doing. So, yeah, I will return to you for part 3 of the spoiler reviews to end the spoiler review for Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker videos that I've been spoiling. So thank you for watching the second part of the spoiler review. I got to cover as much as I could, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next part.